Hello YouTube. I created an insert for Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion to make the entire thing fit in the box and the lids sit on correctly. I wanted to show you how things are organized and discuss a quick theory as to why I did what I did. So these particular pieces I sit on the top. This is still in the plastic here. Your scenario books are here, and then between the first two scenario books are the element board and then the 4 character cards. Now the reason I did this you will see when you get to the character trays. Next up are your rules reference, your book, your board, which I'm not going to show you, or the stickers because I don't want to do any spoilers. We've been playing through the campaign. This is just a divider I put in here. You don't actually need it, but it's kind of nice to have. Alright, now to the meat and the potatoes of the organizer here. The monsters, I made a simple tray with individual dividers. These are 0.8 millimeter. The walls are 1/6. The two bosses sit here in the center with the stone golems, and then the heart tumor here, or the blood tumor here, sits on top of the monstrosities. And in the bottom, I don't know if I can show you this, but in the bottom I put little holes in each one so you can poke your finger up to get them out nice and easy. Next we have the character trays, and this is where I'm going to tell you why the decision was made not to put the boards in there. So first things first, let me grab one of these. Your character tray is, my wife put her thing in there a little bit incorrect. Your character tray is actually a little bit too narrow for this, to set them side by side in the box. So our red guard here, you can see we've got a little insert here. All of these cards are sleeved, and I made sure that you could sleeve them with tall sleeves. These are Fantasy Flight sleeves, which of course aren't being made anymore, but they're very tall sleeves. So your little cards here, big cards here. I went ahead and created some stop cards to separate them out. So obviously I've sleeved everything and taken the cards out. So you got an out of game pile there. Did the same thing with the smaller cards, and your items obviously can sit right in there. Your hit point dial. If you're using the app, obviously a lot of these things will not be used, but I wanted to be able to contain the entire game in the box. Next thing that I put together is, I'm going to just put this back, we don't need it anymore. We've got your cards. So these are your monster cards, and I'm going to explain why I decided to take these out of the bags and have the tokens and the monster cards as individuals. Monster stands, monster modifiers. On the back side we got the curses and blessings, available items, unavailable items, and then goals. Now, part of the reason that I did this the way I did is during all my testing, trying to make this fit in the box with the lid shut, this was one of the ideas I had. And if you take a look at this, this will sit right on top, same height. One of the ideas I had was leave the monsters in the plastic bags with their cards, put them all here. It was a bad idea, just gonna say that. Didn't work. Even, we put all this stuff in here, so you've got your special boxes, which we haven't opened yet. This right here is your city cards. Those just sit in the box like so. Here are token trays. all this stuff had to sit inside this tray. So once I put all that stuff in there, wasn't a lot of room for the containers or for the plastic bags with the sleeves, and they kind of bubbled up over the top and it just looked bad. And what I found is using this style tray, you get a much greater density with the monster tokens and didn't have an issue. So this, bad idea. And you can see this stuff all just sits in here. It's not very tight. You know, there's about 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter of play all the way around. The cards sit in here and kind of just keep everything in sight, and then you can just drop all this stuff in. And everything fits beautifully in the box. And the lid will shut all the way, which in and of itself is quite an accomplishment on this game when you consider it came from the factory and the lid wouldn't shut all the way.